I'd say go for it. It's really worthwhile. It helps you to reflect on what you're doing in your own organisation, and it's really practical and applicable to what you're doing. So I've never felt that it's been a waste of time or effort or energy.
Cool.
In fact, even more than that, every time I come and stop doing what I'm doing, it's been like a sort of a mini retreat to make sure that I have space to reflect. And then going back into the practical work means that it's always within the context of my work. It's not on top of, it's always within the context of what we're doing.
So it doesn't necessarily make you busier?
No, but it does make me more effective.
The assignments align with your workplace. So like Helen said, you're not doing extra work, you're doing something to support your organisation that you wanted to do anyway.
Yeah.
So it's really valuable.
So for example, the financial management paper, I did my annual budget for my financial management. That was great as part of my assignment.
Crossed off your to-do list.
It was. It was great.
With some extra expertise helping you
That's
out.
right, and critiqued, and I could present it with confidence.
Yeah.
Right. I think it just allows you to create that space to do that extra thinking. I think the very first course that we were on showed us that reflective thinking was really strong and powerful for any piece of work that you're doing. And I think this allows you to have that reflective thinking time, and it makes you want to do something within your workplace a lot better because you've got some extra knowledge that you've gained from the course, and you're allowed to, just push that further and make sure that you're doing a really good job. Yeah.
The other thing I really valued is meeting all the other people and the other organisations that they come from, and the wide diversity of organisations and people that you meet who have got some great ideas, and you kind of feel like you're off on your own.
Yeah. And Christina, for someone like you who's not the manager of an organisation, has it also helped create the space for you to actually lead in a way in your organisation that you mightn't have had permission for before?
Yeah, absolutely. It's enabled me to have those conversations with my manager about the ideas and concepts from the course.
Yeah.
So it's given me a great opportunity. I feel really grateful to have the skills and knowledge before I'm even going into that position, so I've got some foundation, some experience before I even start.
Yeah.
And it reinforces that whole idea that it's for the common good.
Yeah.
No matter where we are in the organisation, a volunteer like me, or not leading from below, as it's sometimes called, or leading from behind, it's for the common good. And the beautiful learning community style means that we don't come out as dictators with our new knowledge. this
Naive inquirer type.
naive inquirer type way of saying and doing everything.
I think what's really useful for me in my position, being a chief executive, is that we have to lead by learning, and I think it's really important, really powerful that I'm here learning at the same time as leading, and we're almost implementing things in my workplace that I'm learning the day before or the week prior. I think that's incredibly powerful and just really sensible, because we can actually lead by example through learning, and that's a quality that we take for granted sometimes in the community voluntary sector.
And another thing that I've really valued is that it focuses on the not-for-profit sector, because I did a leadership course through a business school, but because it wasn't geared to the not-for-profit, you had to think you were always trying to translate it to your situation, whereas this is, specialises in the not-for-profit, and so it's much more accessible.
So how did you overcome those barriers of, I haven't got the time, I haven't got the money, all those sorts of things that go through your head, I'm too stressed, I couldn't possibly do it. So how did you get over those barriers for yourselves?
You've got to be able to plan, and you've got to be able to have that courageous conversation with your manager to say, I need to be learning on the spot at the same time as other people are learning, and be learning about things that are relevant to your role. So that was a conversation that I had that was totally acceptable for my board, but making sure that I was taking the time out across a number of years to be able to complete the 8 papers, and so wasn't trying to do everything all at once. I think the bite-size the bite-size ability of the course that is really sensible.
I downloaded the sort of the summary of it and actually took it to my trust and said, this is, I think this would be valuable because these are the gaps in my knowledge and this is how it fits. And also having access to the scholarship money was helpful to actually sort of get you started. and then accessing other sources, for example, the Community Trust have, said they may provide scholarships as well.
I started because I said to myself, I'm just going to do one paper, and that's manageable, one paper.
Yeah.
But once I got stuck in, it was like, I've got to do the rest, and it was so good that, and as I said, the scholarship was really helpful to start with, but then I just used my student loan, added to that because it is so valuable, it's invaluable.
Yeah. I think across the different papers as well, you suddenly get lots of different contexts and people ask you what paper you're doing next or where you're up to, and it seems to be, that kind of community of wanting to get through the program together, and I think that's really invaluable that you don't get with other papers or courses because you don't get that kind of learning style together. And so you also form that kind of next level of networking, which is kind of like, let's get together and do these papers together.
I think that it feeds itself too, that when your organisation can see how valuable your learning is to them, because it's within the context of your organisation, it makes it easy for them to say yes to the next one. The obstacles just get swept away because, for example, your financial action plan or your funding action plan is so valuable that they could have paid heaps of dollars for somebody else outside to do, and not only have they enabled your learning, but also they've got that resource within themselves now.
You're right, it's not just you that gets something from the course, it's the whole. And when you leave, they've still got that knowledge, the skills, the templates.
Yeah, everything you gave them, everything from your assignment that is relevant to your organisation stays.
And one thing that is worthwhile is that all the people who are delivering the course actually have experience in the not-for-profit sector and they're passionate about it.
Yeah.
So you're not feeling that you're, someone's just making it up or is...
You're not having to translate it.
Yeah, that's right. They actually know what they're talking about and you can relate to it really easily. You can relate to them really easily because they've got the background.
Is that if we want to grow the sector to be really credible, successful, well-funded, that we need great people that are learning, the tools that you're learning to ensure that we can get the sector to be at a level where it's acceptable and, successful. And that's what we want for our communities.